On last year's bit of bacon that's been drying in the fridge for 12 months ish. So it is dried out like you wouldn't believe. And it just goes to show that I don't eat a lot of bacon at home. So I was kind of thinking we really should do something with it. It'll still be fine. We're going to cut into it. There's no bad mold on it. There's a little bit of white mold, but that's not bad mold. But we really should do something with it. And I was thinking last week or so I'd made some back bacon and I wasn't going to do anything with it. I'm just cooking something on the back of the stove. I just need to keep stirring my onions for my dinner later on, which I probably won't make a video of. Probably won't. Probably will in the end. Because if I don't film something, something interesting happens. So I had this back bacon and I wasn't going to use it, so I kind of thought, well, what we'll do is we'll cook it like gammon instead. So I cured it for 3 weeks and then air dried it for 3 weeks. 3 weeks by the end of it. And it was delicious bacon, but I wasn't going to use it, so I just thought, I'll just cook it like gammon. And it was delicious. But I did notice that what happened was through the cooking process, because it was poached in water, it expanded. So the gammon bacon sucked in some of the cooking water and kind of plumped back up again because it had dried out a little bit. So I kind of thought what we really should do with this is we should trim off some edges of it, and then we'll kind of have a look inside, see what it looks like inside. And then I think what we'll do with half of it is we'll soak it in some water and we'll see what happens. We'll see if it kind of rehydrates, because there's always things in the back of my mind that I kind of think about. And I was thinking about in the time of sailing ships that used to traverse the world, they would always have to feed people. And you kind of go, well, they're traveling through the oceans and seas. So of course they're going to fish. They're going to have lines out the back of the ship catching fish. So there'll be fresh fish every day. But there's also going to be, so what used to happen was, in the Great Britain, United Kingdom, a lot of the beef for the Royal Navy and the Merchant Navy came from Ireland. So the meat part of the cows and the bulls was salted and turned into salt beef, and then the offal was, I do believe, paid in part payment. So the butchers were paid in money and in offal as well, because the offal, you can't store offal. So that's why in Ireland you've got this tradition of offal, eating offal. And the same in Rome as well. So in Rome, there were, in the abattoirs in Rome, the butchers were paid in money and in offal. So they would, or if they want to be paid all, well, obviously, if you want to get paid all in offal, you get a lot more meat than you would do money. This is kind of quite a common theme throughout the world. But anyway, so off track as always. I do believe that was to be true. It might not be 100% true. So then on the sailing ships you had salt beef and salt pork, and I was kind of thinking, well, yeah, if you kind of brine it for a long time, it's just going to be really salty, and it'll preserve it, but it will need drying out, and it'll probably need the salt removing from it. So they probably used to put it in bags, tie a rope to it, and chuck it over the side of the ship, and then the salt water would be less salty than the actual salt in the pork or the beef, and then that would rehydrate it and remove some of the salt as well. It'd still be very salty, so I don't know where they get the water for the cooking liquid from there. But anyway, so I kind of thought, this is where we are, aren't we? We are at a dried out bit of pork, which we need to rehydrate. As always, waffling. So let's have a look what we're going to do, and we're going to go straight down the middle. Let's go straight down the middle with my knife. Hopefully it's sharp enough. Oh, it is, and we'll see how it looks on the inside. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. We really should get a picture of that, shouldn't we? That's quite fatty though, isn't it? That's quite fatty. We'll have a picture of that because that looks sensational. You know, considering that I've just put that in the top of the fridge, wrapped up in some linen cloth. That's just normal bacon that I made myself, and that's how it turned out. Like, wow, that looks quite impressive, to say the least. That will be delicious. To kind of soak it in some water seems like a waste, but I'm just not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it, but we will try it. We will try it. So, but I need to take a picture first. So let's shave off outsides. The only problem once you start carving into things like this is that you get the mould on the outside then touching the inside of the pork. So once you've cut into it, you really need to use it, because now obviously there's going to be yeast and bacteria on the blade cutting through this, obviously on my board as well. So it will go off a lot quicker once we start hacking into it. So once we've done it, we need to kind of crack on and use it, but that's not quite as impressive. That's impressive though, isn't it? And then we'll whip off this bit at the back. Those bits aren't useful whatsoever. There's always going to be a little bit of wastage though, isn't there? So those want to go in the bin, and then I'm going to do this gingerly. I'm not particularly skilled when it comes to knives. My knives even really aren't that sharp. It just goes to show that you don't need razor sharp knives. The idea of getting out sharpening stones, I'm just kind of like, ugh, a bit, to be honest. Although I have got some sharpening stones, I really should. I got a grinder as well. I got a knife sharpener. It was a cheap one in Lidl, and I bought myself one, and I really, like 2 years ago, and I just haven't got around to having to play around with it. It could be a video, couldn't it? It could be a video when I eventually get around to faffing around with it. I'm going to have more time off. I'm going to have more time next year after Christmas. So maybe that's a thing to do when I've got more free time. There we go. That's not a bad job, none of that. Smells alright. Smells like cured bacon. Not particularly bothered about that bit underneath. But let's just take a slice. It's quite fatty, but let's just taste a bit. I'm not going to poison myself. I'm not bothered. Well, I'm not bothered, but that's nice, I thought. I cut it the wrong way, so it's, you need to cut across the grain, but that's with the grain, but still, that's delicious. It is delicious. So we'll just neaten up this underside. We'll just carve some of this harder bits off, and then just cold water. I don't think anything else. Cold water in a pan, leave it overnight, see what happens. But I realise that I am waffling, and this video will be longer than it needs to be, but there we go. Oh, okay, so that's not so bad, is it? So we've carved off. I just don't think that'd be nice to eat. It might be when it rehydrates. It might just be a little bit easier to carve, but also the liquid will get in a lot easier. So into a pan, covered with water, in the fridge overnight. We'll see what it looks like in the morning. Right, so let's have a look at this bit of bacon. It's still solid as a rock. It will have soaked up some water, but not that much. Let's cook it. Oh, it's okay, so it has softened up, but it's still kind of quite hard. Let's cook it. We'll change the water, get rid of that water that we soaked it in, because it will have taken on some of the salt and sugar. Fresh water up to the bowl, and then slow simmer, and then we'll see what happens to it. Right, so it's had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Maybe 5 hours. maybe 6 hours. Just gently kind of cooking, just on the smallest gas jet, and then just slowly type of thing. It's super tender. I don't want to cut it. Let's snip a bit off. And then I thought what we'd do is we'd cool it down in the liquid, and then it won't lose any moisture as it cools down, because obviously there's evaporation of water coming off this at the moment. Oops. Can we just hold it? Yeah, so there's evaporation of water coming off it at the moment when it's out of the water, so it tends to dry it out slightly. So if we cool it down in the water, that doesn't happen. So is that going to be enough to eat? That's good. That's good. We'll cool it down, and then when it's cold, we'll cut it in half, and then I think it tastes nice. Yeah, it's like, and considering that it's a year old and it's been dried out, that's nice as that. So we could do that with other types of cured meats that we'd dried out, and we could reconstitute them like that. But in the same way that you can do that with salt cod. So of course we can do it with salt pork and salt beef and those type of things. I just haven't looked into it. I just, like I normally, the idea is that you're going to go, I'll do some research. I don't do anything like that. I just think, just have a go and work it out for yourself, because I generally find that the questions that I want to ask, no one seems to have the answers to. That's probably just down to me and the way my brain works. So we'll let that go cold, and then I thought what we'd do is, I was curious about, we'll slice it and we'll fry it and we'll see how it fries up. I don't know for what purpose. I did think of a reason that I wanted to do it like that. Maybe it was like an easier way of making a bacon sandwich, because if you like, bacon's cured, but if you when you slice it and you put it in a pan, it can curl up and it can like not go crispy evenly. But I kind of thought, but if it was cooked beforehand and then cooled down and then sliced and then fried, we'd probably get some really kind of like quite crispy, nice slices. And would it still taste like bacon, or would it taste like warmed up pork? But we'll see. We'll see. Wonder what it was. So we'll let that go cold, and then we'll have a look at it tomorrow. I think, because it's getting a bit late and it's Sunday night, and I've had enough of cooking and making food videos. I don't know why I started on a Sunday, but anyway. So it's cooled, and we'll just do a comparison. So which side will be? Give it that side. I think those were the two. I think that will have come from there. So we can see the difference. It's certainly absorbed liquid as it's cooked. Right, so that out of the way. Greasy, horrible. Although, I don't know why I'm going to wipe my hands when I'm going to just make them dirty again. So, how's it slice? And then let's just gently fry these slices and see what we think. Not bad. I'm just curious. I think I'm probably end up. Let's get some kitchen towel, rather than making a mess of my cloth. I think I'll end up making some like ragu out of that piece. Just put it in some tomato and a bit of onion and shred it down, I think. Right, so Gentle heat for gas jet work. Gentle valve, gentle now, and then we'll see how they crisp up and fry. It has fried up nicely, and it stayed pink as well. So I've just put a little bit of oil in. Well, it's fat actually. I don't really do oil. Much prefer something rendered from an animal. That's off. It's milk at the back. That's fine. So just pat it dry. It's alright, isn't it? How does it taste? That's the most important thing. Nice of that. So, I don't know what use this video is, but it just goes to show that we can take something that was cured and dried for a year and kind of reconstitute it back into something that we can have as like bacon or cook it down to a ragu, so it really more assembles meat rather than like a dried cured meat. But anyway, so got loads of flavour to it. Well, what I intended to do it worked, so that's success, isn't it?